Thought it was hot and steamy yesterday here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field for a doubleheader. Today might be even more sultry when it comes to the weather. Good afternoon, Les Lazaruk with you from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. It is the fourth and final game in a row between the Saskatoon Berries and the Swift Current 57s. This series actually started Friday night at Mitchell Field in Swift Current, the Berries winning 17-5. And then Saskatoon yesterday, these two teams came up north to Saskatoon and were able to play two games, two 7-inning games. A game that was supposed to be played on Father's Day that was rained out. That was in the late afternoon. The Berries won 7-0, and then Saskatoon winning the regularly scheduled game that was only 7 innings again last night by a score of 13-7. So they go looking for the 4-game sweep today. They'll try and do so with Diego Quinones on the mound. The Sierra Vista, Arizona product will be on the mound for the Saskatoon Berries. He'll make his 7th start of the season. And for Quinones, a 3-1 record, 30 innings pitched. He's allowed 39 hits, 26 runs, 20 of them earned, has struck out 28 and walked 8. The right-hander will face Lucas Geisler, all-star for the Swift Current 57s. He'll be the left fielder today. Quinones has his sign. And first pitch swinging on the ground. Giles Salinas up with it. The throw on to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out as we're underway at 1:01 on Sunday afternoon, July 12th. The Berries with a record of 24-11. Tied for first in the East Division with Moose Jaw. Same exact record. Berries have won 3 in a row, 6-4 in their last 10. 15-5 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. And a plus 111. Runs 4 to runs against. First pitch outside to Hunter Fujimoto, the center fielder. Fujimoto did not play in the second game last night. He'll hit this one foul down the third base side. And that'll just get over the boundary fence into the parking lot for strike 1. This is Quinones' first appearance against the Swift Current 57s this season. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back to the screen by Fujimoto. 1-2 the count. Hunter Fujimoto from San Jose, California, coming off his sophomore year at Santa Clara University. 5'9", 190-pound left-handed hitter. Fouls that off at the plate. Stays alive at 1-2. Fujimoto is hitting .420. 21 hits and 50 at-bats. 1-2 pitch on the ground. Josh Henson will take that and go to the bag himself. Record the second out. 2 ground ball outs here in the top of the first inning for Diego Quinones. He'll face another Swift Current all-star in Jake Hiramoto, third baseman. Hiramoto hit a home run last night. So did his teammate right behind him, Keegan Noller, in the top of the first inning. Those two from Swift Current lead the WCBL in home runs with 12 each. Quinones' first pitch breaking ball slider outside and low, ball 1. Hiramoto hitting .373. Has enough plate appearances to qualify and is 9th in batting average. Here Fujimoto does not. Fouled back into the screen. Strike 1, 1-1. That was right up at the top of the backstop screen. You can hear the kids in the crowd in behind home plate, up in the castle section going, hit it higher, hit it higher. If only he could do that readily. Ball in tight, 2-1. Home plate umpire today is Riley Chainer. Scott Mostaway is the crew chief at first base. Bobby Mark is the third base umpire. And Hiramoto gets hit by pitch on the 2-1. So Swift Current gets a base runner with 2 away. It'll bring up the right fielder, Hudson Unger. Unger's a Swift Current product, coming off his sophomore year at Arkansas State University. He's the right fielder today for the 57s. Did not play in the second game last night. Quinones with Hiramoto at first, dancing around. First pitch in for a strike. Hiramoto has 4 stolen bases, but he's also been caught 5 times. Of course, this is a situation where you might want to take off and try and get into scoring position with 2 away in the top of the first inning. That's outside ball 1, according to Riley Chainer. Catcher Mace Wheeler on deck. 57s have used 3 different catchers in the last 3 games. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Broke down and out of the plate, out of the strike zone. 1-2. Unger hitting .387. 29 for 75. 3 home runs and 22 runs batted in. In the cleanup spot. Bounced in, blocked by Aiden Marion, the catcher. Ball 2. Defensively for the Berries, in the outfield, Ethan Murdoch in right, Nash Nichols in center, Nick Stinson's the left fielder, Mason Rell at third base, Brock Laird's the shortstop, Kyle Salinas at second base, Josh Henson's at first. Aiden Marion just caught that high pitch, and it's a full count. Diego Quinones is the pitcher. Hiramoto should be going with the pitch. 3-2. That's outside. No, called strike 3. Unger thought it was outside. He threw the bat aside. He was starting to walk to first base, and he gets rung up by Riley Chainer, the home plate umpire. First strikeout of the afternoon for Diego Quinones. And for Swift Current in the top of the first inning, no runs, no hits. No Berries errors, 1 runner left on base after a half an inning. Swift Current nothing. And the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Heat warnings cover most of the province, at least most of the central and southern parts of Saskatchewan, including Saskatoon. And as we look at Environment Canada and the weather station at the Saskatoon airport, mostly cloudy skies. That's what's holding down the heat, I would say, and the temperature a little. 26 degrees Celsius. That's 79 Fahrenheit. Wind out of the south-southwest at 13 kilometers per hour, or about 8 miles per hour. That blows out a little bit, kind of on a 45-degree angle. But you can't tell from the flags atop the right field scoreboard, because 13 kilometers an hour isn't really going to do much. Brock Laird will lead it off. The reason why Keegan Noller is not the cleanup hitter for Swift Current this afternoon is because he's the starting pitcher today. Big right-hander on the bump for 57's first pitch. That's a different arm angle, and it's in there for a strike on Laird. Keegan Noller, 6'3", 230 out of Tecumseh, Ontario, coming off his sophomore year at Roan State Community College. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 2 strikes on Laird. Yep. For Noller, this is his 10th appearance of the season. I believe it's his first start, maybe his second. There's that breaking pitch, but hit into the air, and it'll land in center field, taken on the hop by the center fielder Hunter Fujimoto, a leadoff single for Brock Laird. That extends Laird's hitting streak to 10 games. He's 17 for 44 during this time. He'll bring up Ethan Murdoch, Swift Current product, right fielder for the Berries. Second year with Saskatoon. Being from Swift Current, he actually played as he takes a big swing and a miss at Noller's first pitch, strike 1. Murdoch did play for the 57's back in 2023. Hit .333 that year. 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Inside, and that caught him. Shaking his right hand is Ethan Murdoch. Plunked. Laird will move up to second. Berries have 2 men on and nobody out. So as I said, this is Noller's 10th appearance of the season. He has a 1-1 record, a 4.86 earned run average. Pitched 16 2/3 innings. Has allowed 18 hits, 11 runs, 9 of them earned. 9 strikeouts and 9 walks. Fouled back to the screen. First pitch by Gavin Panks, the DH today for the Berries. If you're wondering, I saw Nathan Houston after the game last night and said, "Hey, why are you not been in the lineup this weekend?" He's got a little problem with a thigh, hamstring, something along that line. Panks hits this one in the air, drifting into left center field. The center fielder, Fujimoto, will make the catch. Laird took a couple of steps towards third, but goes back to the bag. And that's one away. And it'll bring up Giles Salinas. Salinas is on an 18-game hitting streak. The numbers are quite impressive in those 18 games. 34 hits in 74 at-bats. That's .459 for the right-hander out of Quintahara, Mexico. Barry's second baseman, an all-star. Noller checking the runners. Laird at second, Murdoch at first. Fastball outside, ball 1. Noller kind of slings the ball. And it's a sidearm to almost 3/4 overhand release point. He'll step back off the rubber. Now time called as the catcher, Mace Wheeler, will go out and have a chat with him. Defensively for Swift Current, in right field is Hudson Unger. Hunter Fujimoto's in center. Left fielder is Lucas Geisler. In the infield, Jake Hiramoto's at third base. Zach Clow's the shortstop. Second baseman's Cohen Jorgensen. And Rydell Adair is the first baseman after being the catcher last night. Mace Wheeler behind the plate. He played Friday in Swift Current. Keegan Noller the pitcher. There's a strike, 1-1. That type of delivery might take you a couple of pitches, maybe an at-bat to kind of get used to live and you're actually at the plate. It's one thing to watch it from the on-deck circle or from the dugout, but quite another to actually be up there. Bounced in, good play defensively by the catcher to block that ball. Keep it in front of him. Count 2-1 on Salinas. During that 18-game hitting streak, he has 2 home runs and 30 runs batted in. Fouled off. Count even at 2-2. 30 of his 37 RBIs have come in the 18-game hitting streak. Mason Rell is on deck. Rell hit a 3-run home run last night. His first with the Berries since coming back to the team for the second half of the season out of Indiana State. Noller checking the runners. 2-2 pitch, way outside. Full count. 1 away. Let's see if Joe Carnahan starts the runners here on the Action Jackson pitch. You can feel the mugginess in the air. Humidity 70%. With a 26-degree temperature, it feels like 34. Nobody goes. Salinas pops it up. Twisting foul. Oh, it'll be caught in fair territory. Laird takes quite a few steps towards third, now backs up. Good catch by the right fielder, Hudson Unger. Thought that one was going to twist foul, but then the wind again is from the south-southwest, kept it fair. So it had to be caught, and a good job by Hudson Unger to do so, creating the second out. So the Berries still with runners on first and second, now 2 away, and it'll be up to Mason Rell to try and get a crooked number on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the first inning. Josh Henson on deck, hoping to get up to the plate. First 2 men got on. Laird with a single. Murdoch hit by a pitch. Rell pops the first pitch up. This one is in foul territory and will be caught by Rydell Adair, the first baseman, to end the inning. In the bottom of the first inning, the Berries had 1 hit. There were no errors by Swift Current and 2 runners left on base. After an inning, scoreless between Swift Current and Saskatoon. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
This July, the Okotoks Dogs and Baseball Canada will host the Road to Okotoks and the Morneau Cup National Championship at the Siemens Stadium Complex from July 14th to 19th. Come watch the top 16 youth baseball teams from across the country. These are the future stars of Canadian baseball, tomorrow's collegiate standouts and professional players, all chasing a national championship. Don't miss a week of elite competition, unforgettable moments, and the future of Canadian baseball in Okotoks.
Ready for the top of the second inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Scoreless, Diego Quinones, the starting pitcher for the Berries, threw unofficially 15 pitches in the top of the first inning. He'll face catcher Mace Wheeler, DH Malachi Yaramillo, and first baseman Rydell Adair. Wheeler, a left-hander, at the plate. First pitch from Quinones down low, ball 1. Wheeler 2 for 4 with an RBI on Friday. in the game in Swift Current that started this 4-game set between the two teams. High and away, ball 2. 2-0 on the catcher Wheeler. 5'9", 195 out of San Diego. Coming off his sophomore year at Santa Clara University. Got around on that one and pulls it away foul. Out of play. 2-1. I mentioned Wheeler's from out of Santa Clara University. So is Hunter Fujimoto, the center fielder. Always nice to have a teammate that you're familiar with, as this one's hit in the air. Going back a few steps and making the catch is center fielder Nash Nichols for the first out. Malachi Yaramillo, the DH, coming up. He's 2 for 10 in the 3-game series so far against the Berries. Right-handed hitter. Yaramillo from Albuquerque, New Mexico, coming off his junior year at Southeastern University Lakeland. Looks at the first pitch ball. Quinones working fast. This one's on the ground. Nice hop for Laird. And the throw across in time, 2 away. Once again, a nice crowd on hand on a Sunday, a weekend here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Yesterday's 2 games, separate dates, 2 separate attendances, almost 3,800 fans in total attending the 2 games. Here's first baseman Rydell Adair, who had a double last night in his last at-bat, drove in a couple of runs. Takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Adair from Swift Current. That one's inside, 2-0. Adair coming off his junior year at Texas A&M Texarkana. He has a younger brother, Kyrell Adair. I'm not sure if he's available this weekend. I'll hit back up the middle and off the glove of Quinones. Laird fields it and throws on to first in time. Quinones got a glove on it and deflected it and kind of changed the path that Laird had to go to get after the ball. He was moving towards the middle of the infield and then had to change up, field the ball, and then throw cross body and threw a strike to first baseman Josh Henson for the out. 3 up, 3 down for Swift Current in the top of the 2nd inning. No runs, no hits. No Berries errors, nobody left on base after an inning and a half. We are scoreless. Saskatoon and Swift Current as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 2nd inning upcoming here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, looking for our first run of the ball game. Saskatoon Berries in the baby blue, the special days and Sundays gem that they'll wear. Swift Current, their 3rd different look. Wearing green tops today, after they wore all orange yesterday in the afternoon. That couldn't have been very comfortable in the heat. Neither was the black, I'm sure, last night, the black top. Although at least it was the evening and it was cooling off a bit. Not much. Keegan Noller to pitch to Josh Henson. First one down low, ball one. Henson has 7 RBI in the 3 games against Swift Current this weekend. Boosted him up to 37 runs batted in for the season, tied for 5th in the WCBL. There's a called strike. 1-1. Seven runs batted in, and only 4 for 13. That's still hitting 300. Very acceptable. But he's making the most of his at-bats with runners in scoring position. 2-1. That ball is down and low, down and away. Josh, not yet 20 years old. Won't turn 20 until November. Up high, 3-1. Left fielder Nick Stinson on deck. Aiden Marion is guaranteed to get a plate appearance here in the bottom of the second inning. Noller's 3-1. Fouled off and out of play. Full count. To lead off the bottom of the second inning. The 9-inning games earlier this week all went 3 hours plus. One of those games was 11 innings, so there's an excuse there. The other 2 games, tough dates for pitching. There's a strike 3 called. First strikeout for Noller, 1 away. I say you need to have a look at him at least once before you figure out that funky delivery. Sidearmish, 3/4 overhand, different release point, kind of slinging it at you. Tough to pick up maybe right away out of the hand. See how Nick Stinson does with it. Left-handed hitting left fielder for the Berries. He did okay, except it's in a line and right at the right fielder, Unger, for the second out. Right idea from Stinson, but now it's Aiden Marion. Nash Nichols hoping to get an at-bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Requires Marion to get on base. Saskatoon product. First pitch inside, ball 1. In there for a strike, 1-1. Marion was 0 for 2 in the only game he has played so far out of the last 3 against Swift Current. That was yesterday afternoon. Got on base a couple of times. Looks at strike 2. Now it's 1-2. Both pitchers settling in and doing nicely. One-two pitch coming up to Aiden Marion. Low and away, ball 2. 2-2 the count on the Saskatoon Berries catcher. Coming off his rookie season freshman year is the proper terminology, at Hutchinson Community College in Hutchinson, Kansas. Check swing. One hopper back to the pitcher, Noller. He'll underhand as he got halfway to first base from off the mound and retires the side. 6 straight retired by Keegan Noller. No runs, no hits, no Swift Current errors, nobody left on base. After 2, we got donuts up on the board here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, here we go with the top of the third inning. Diego Quinones back out on the hill for the Saskatoon Berries. He'll face the numbers 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Swift Current lineup today. Cohen Jorgensen, the second baseman, will be up first. Then the shortstop, Zach Clow, and Lucas Geisler will get a second crack at Quinones. So we finally came up with the real reason as to his hometown. The announcement here is from Sierra Vista, Arizona. And that's what we're going to go with from now on, as Quinones' first pitch up high to Cohen Jorgensen, ball one. Quinones, when they've given a survey prior to the start of the season, wrote that down as his hometown. Here's a hot shot, one hopper off the bat of Jorgensen, but a good play by Salinas to glove it and throw him out for the first out. Brings up Zach Clow, the shortstop. So on the league website, where it says Las Cruces, Mexico being his hometown, he doesn't consider that to be the case anymore. It's Sierra Vista, Arizona. He did go to high school, though, in Las Cruces. First pitch down low to Zach Clow, ball one. So hence the confusion, but it has been cleared up, I think. Swing and a miss. Clow, strike one, 1-1. Clow played in last night's game. 1 for 3, scored a couple of runs. Hits this one, a tall chopper. Rell at third with it. The throw across in time, 2 away. So back to the top of the order for the 57s, and Lucas Geisler, the left fielder. As mentioned, one of 5 All-Stars on the Swift Current 57s. All-Star Weekend is next weekend here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Saturday, busy day with a bunting competition, junior home run derby, the real WCBL home run derby. First pitch strike. Cut fastball, it looked like. That Geisler didn't offer at. Strike one. There's also a concert Saturday night. Jordan Pollard. Outside 1-1. And then Sunday, the All-Star game itself, starting at 1 o'clock. So a week from today, the Stars will be out during the daytime. At the knees on the outside corner, 1-2. Quinones ahead on the count. Simon Hyatt, the PA announcer, wants some noise from out of the crowd. 1-2 pitch just outside. 2-2. Oops. The umpires in the crowd like that one. They're letting Riley Chanar that should have been strike 3. 2-2. This one's hit in the air, but it is hooking foul into the Berries' right field dugout, and the count holds at 2-2. Two pitch outside, full count. Berries are looking for 2 new All-Stars, though. They've only got 3 because both pitchers that are supposed to be a part of the team have been called back home to their colleges by their coaching staffs. So Tanner Hosick and Michael Saul are no longer with the club. Swing and a miss, strike 3. I'll tell you more about that when we get a chance. But Quinones strikes out Geisler. That is 7 straight retired by Quinones, and 9 out of 10 in the ball game. His second strikeout, as again 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. After 2.5, scoreless. Saskatoon and Swift Current. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Keegan Noller back out for the bottom of the third inning. The starting pitcher today for the Swift Current 57s. Both he and Diego Quinones are mowing the batters down so far. Noller started off a little on the shaky side, gave up a leadoff single to Brock Laird, and then hit Ethan Murdoch with a pitch, but has gotten the next 6 batters out as we head to the bottom of the third. He's going to face those same 2 guys second and third up this inning, but first up it'll be the center fielder Nash Nichols, who was 1 for 3 last night. He is the center fielder out of Waxahachie, Texas, with good speed on the bases, good speed in center field. Good, he faked a bunt and took it for a ball. I thought he might have stabbed at it, and not according to Riley Chainard, the home plate umpire. There's a strike. 1-1. Nichols hitting .209. 19 hits in 91 at-bats. Fouls it back 1-2. He's still among the top 10 in home runs in the league. And as he told me, that is not his game, his power hitting. Yet he has 6 round trippers, tied for 9th in the league. And it's not like they're all inside the Parkers. They've been hit well and have gone a long way. 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Unofficially, that was the 30th pitch that Keegan Noller has thrown so far. On the other side, Diego Quinones is through 3 innings and unofficially has thrown 36 pitches. Up and away, full count. If you can average 12 an inning, you can go a long way in a game. You can complete a game throwing 108. Up high, ball 4. A leadoff walk to Nash Nichols here in the bottom of the third inning. So now you've got speed on the bases in Nash Nichols. 6 stolen bases, caught once. Brock Laird, the leadoff man, coming up. Singled his first time up. See if we get some runner being started and try and do some run and hit, or as they like to say, the actual term being hit and run. First pitch strike. Run and hit is more accurate because you got to have the runner starting from first initially, then ball be hit. So run and hit makes more sense than hit and run, which has been the predominant way it's been said in baseball for eons. Strike 2 at the knees. Laird didn't like either of those. The single was his 45th hit of the season in 144 at-bats. Above 300 for the season. Noller checking on the runner at first, taking off his Nichols. High pitch. Here's the throw down, and it'll be off of the glove of the covering second baseman, Jorgensen, into short left field, but recovered by the shortstop Clow, and Nichols not going anywhere. That's his 7th stolen base of the year. 1-2 the count on Brock Laird, so a runner in scoring position here for the Berries. Keegan Noller. The 1-2 pitch. This one's well hit center field. Going back, reaching and making the catch. Nichols around third. He's coming for home. And he will score. 2 bases on the sacrifice fly. That was a deep drive to straightaway center field. Really nice catch over the shoulder by Hunter Fujimoto, but his momentum takes him pretty much all the way to the fence at the 400-foot mark. Nichols tagged up and took off, and I wouldn't be surprised if Swift Current might do an appeal at second base. I know I would certainly do it and see if the umpires were paying attention, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Ethan Murdoch in there. He hammers one, but not as deep. High fly ball into center field. Caught by Fujimoto for the second out. The sacrifice fly for Brock Laird for 2 bases and an RBI. Give Laird 26 runs batted in on the season. There's now 2 out. And Gavin Pank's the hitter. First pitch low and outside, ball 1. It's been a while since I've seen somebody score all the way from second on a long fly ball. Called strike 1 and 2. But it was the right circumstances for it to happen. Long fly ball to the deepest part of the ballpark. The catch made and the momentum of running and catching the ball carrying you further away from the infield. And if you're alert, as Nash Nichols was, Pank's on the ground. Hiramoto, the third baseman, picks it, throws on to first. That'll end the inning. But the Berries score a run without the benefit of a hit. A walk, a stolen base, and 2 bases taken on a fly ball to score the first run. 1 run, no hits. There were no Swift Current errors and nobody left on base. After 3, Saskatoon 1. Swift Current no scores. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. We've got ourselves an old-fashioned pitcher's duel shaping up through 3 innings here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field on Sunday afternoon. The unofficial line score through 3 innings for the Berries: 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. They've left 2 runners on base. Swift Current, no runs, no hits, no errors. They've left 1 runner on base. Hunter Fujimoto, Jake Hiramoto, and Hudson Unger are the batters for the Swift Current 57s here in the top of the 4th inning against Diego Quinones. Second time through the order now for Swift Current. First pitch strike on the outside corner against Fujimoto, who grounded out to Josh Henson at first base back in the 1st inning. Foul back onto the screen. 2 strikes quickly. Quinones off to a snappy start to the game today. Change up outside, 1 and 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fujimoto on the ground. Salinas takes it on a 2 hops. Waits for Henson to get to the bag and throws him out. 1 away. Jake Hiramoto. Second in OPS in the league at 1.176. Fifth in hits with 47. Mention tied for the league lead in home runs with 12. Hits in 7 of the last 8 games. 15 for 32, which is well over 400. Calculator on the laptop helps. Tells me it's 469. First pitch swinging. Rell has it bounce up, and he can't pick it up and get him out. I believe we're going to call that an error. Error on Mason Rell, and Swift Current gets a base runner. Second time in the game that Jake Hiramoto is on base. They'll bring up Hudson Unger, who struck out to finish off the first inning. Left-handed hitting right fielder who's made a couple of catches in the outfield. First pitch from Quinones in for a strike. Diego coming off his senior year at Ottawa University in Surprise, Arizona. Down low, 1-1. Diego was 5-5 with the Spirit this past college season. Fouled off up the first baseline, 1-2. 5-5 with a 3.39 earned run average in 69 innings, pitching 16 games, 12 of them starts. He had 3 complete games and a shutout in there. It's a pretty good winter. 1-2, Quinones with the pitch here coming. Down low to Hudson Unger, 2-2. Quinones is 3-0 with the Berries. Fouled off. Count holds. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sorry, Quinones is 3-1 on the season. Has an ERA at 6 coming into the game. 2-2 pitch coming up. It's called strike 3. Second time that Hudson Unger has been caught looking and struck out. That's strikeout number 3 for Diego Quinones. We'll bring up Mace Wheeler, the catcher, for the second time. He flew out to center field his first time up. Nash Nichols making the play. And that last pitch, Jake Hiramoto faked, bluffed to go to second base. Now off the glove of Marion to the backstop, and Hiramoto will get to second on a pass ball. You know it's a pass ball when the catcher smacks his fist into the glove while chasing the ball back to the backstop. Darn it, I should have had that one. Saskatoon product not happy with himself. Got to shake it off now and call the game and help himself, Quinones, and the rest of the Berries to get off the field. 1-0 count on left-handed hitting Mace Wheeler. Popped up, and it'll get onto the screen and over the screen, actually. Where did that hit in behind us? Pretty solid something. I think there's a display back in behind there. Might have a dent on it. 1-1. Lots going on today at the ballpark on a Sunday afternoon. Mascot Barry's birthday. There's 15 mascots here from all over the place, including people I work for in regular life. CJWW Radio AM. Our Holly Cow is here. I can't imagine being in a mascot suit today with as warm as it is. I think I'd be demanding double time and a half because I'd be sweating. Yeah, here's a pickoff attempt at second and not in time. Diving back in is Hiramoto. Shortstop Laird sneaking in. Quinones' throw was to the second base side of the bag. If it's to the third base side of the bag, they may have him. 2-1 the count on Mace Wheeler. On the inside corner, strike two. Wheeler looks back at the umpire and thinks to himself, okay, you got to make sure you give us some of those counts, some of those pitches as well when Keegan Noller is throwing. Deuce is wild across the top row of the scoreboard here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Diego Quinones ready to deliver. Hiramoto at second. Down low, full count. Malachi Yaramillo, designated hitter, on deck. Quinones now will bluff, and he'll actually throw over there. Hiramoto back in plenty of time. Mace Wheeler came into the game hitting .385, but he hasn't played a whole bunch. He's now 10 for 27. So it's down a little after being flying out. And there's a line shot into right field. Going back a few steps and there to make the catch is Ethan Murdoch for the 3rd out. No runs for Swift Current in the top of the 4th inning. No hits, 1 Barry's error, and 1 runner left on base after 3.5. Saskatoon 1, Swift Current no scorers. You're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege.
Deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience in the seats or streaming to you. iCast Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Bottom of the 4th inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Berries with a 1-0 lead. Middle 3rd of the order coming up. It'll be Giles Salinas, the 2nd baseman, Mason Rell, the 3rd baseman, and 1st baseman Josh Henson, the 3 baseman for the Berries, coming up here against Keegan Noller. Waiting on catcher Mace Wheeler, who was the last out, to make his way back out to his position. That is never a great feeling. Oh, I made the last out. Now I got to hustle, get back to the dugout, get my gear on. It's not like a position player who can wait out at first base or move into the middle of the infield and wait for a teammate to bring him his glove and he's ready to go. The shin guards have to come on. The chest protector has to come on. The mask. There's a little bit to it. Takes a little bit of time. But Mace Wheeler is now ready. So is Keegan Noller, and so is Giles Salinas, who flew out to right field his first time up. Salinas is 7 for 12, including the fly ball to right field in the first inning. Over the last 3 games and an at-bat, head-to-head against Swift Current this weekend. Has 5 runs batted in the 3 previous games. Keegan Noller's first pitch, fouled back to the screen, strike 1. Salinas from Quintahara, Mexico. Or Rogers, Arkansas, depending on how you want to look at it. He goes with both, actually. Says he spends time both places. 1-1 the count. And again, one of the Berries All-Stars. Outside, 2-1. Ethan Murdoch, Gavin Panks, and Giles Salinas are all-stars for the Berries. Michael Saul and Tanner Hosick were named as all-stars, but both have departed the team and will not be back according to their colleges. They wanted them to come back. So Hosick has gone back to the University of Nebraska at Omaha. And Michael Saul back to he's also University of Nebraska at Omaha. So not sure what those guys are concerned about. But must have some reason for it, as that's down low and it's a full count now to Giles Salinas. So the Berries will have 2 new All-Stars for the game or the festivities next weekend. Just don't know who yet. That announcement to be made. Hit up the middle, not quite middle enough. Shortstop Zach Clow with the ball throws out to Salinas, and that's 1 away. Mason Ralph fouled out to the first baseman, Rydell Adair, to finish off the top of the first inning. Rel 2 for 8 this weekend. Hit the 3-run home run last night. His first since rejoining the team. Coming off his sophomore year at Indiana State. Takes a strike from Keegan Noller. And of course, anytime you mention Indiana State and Mason Rell, he was a 2-year teammate of Carter Beck and a teammate last year here with the Berries of Carter Beck. Who yesterday drafted in the first round of the Major League Draft, 26th overall by the Atlanta Braves. What an accomplishment for a young man, 20 years old, from Cardiff, Saskatchewan, down in the southeast of the province. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rel. Noller's pitch, down and away, ball 2. Mark Campbell from the Berries executive suite is back from having been in Cardiff. Posted a video that's been seen of the moment that he was drafted. Rel follows that off 2-2. Lots of excitement, as you can well imagine. It's been posted a lot of times somewhere by one certain poster on the social media X about how a late first round pick can expect to sign for something like $2.7 million. Full count to Rel. Tell you, I don't begrudge Carter Beck that one bit. He worked hard to do it. It's like Joe Carnahan was saying yesterday. 2 years ago, he'd come to the park in steel-toed work boots, as he'd been working somewhere here in the city before coming to play ball. Rel fists this one left side of the infield, caught by the shortstop Clow for the second out. I'll bring up Josh Henson. He struck out his first time up against Keegan Noller back in the second inning. Henson coming into the game today, tied for 6th in the WCBL with 7 home runs. Tied for 5th in RBI with 37. Swing and a miss, strike one. Henson from Huntsville, Alabama. Coming off his freshman year at Southeastern Louisiana University, he fouls that back into the screen, 2 strikes. Two-strike pitch upcoming. Called strike 3 at the knees. And that's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th inning for the Saskatoon Berries. Nolar's second strikeout of the afternoon. No runs, no hits, no Swift Current errors, nobody left on base. After 4, Saskatoon 1, Swift Current no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Diego Quinones back out for the top of the 5th inning. There's not a lot to choose between these two pitchers this afternoon. Just the 1 run on a 2-base sacrifice fly. Nash Nichols getting home from second back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 1-0 Saskatoon. But both pitchers have been on fire today. And the pitch counts are reasonably good. Quinones for the Berries, unofficially 53. There's 54, and it's a called strike on DH Malachi Yaramillo. Keegan Nolar, on the other hand, has thrown 54 pitches unofficially for Swift Current. Down and away to Yaramillo, 1-1. He grounded out to the shortstop Brock Laird back in his only at-bat in the 2nd inning. First baseman Rydell Adair, second baseman Cohen Jorgensen due up here in the top of the 5th. Again, low and away from Quinones, 2-1. Berries tied for 1st in the East Division with Moose Jaw. This is on the ground. Rell juggles. Now he'll try and throw him out and gets him. He actually thought he was going to hold on to it, saw that the runner wasn't moving down the line that quickly, and was able to gun it across the diamond after bobbling the initial grounder. 1 away. And he'll bring up the first baseman, Rydell Adair, who grounded off of Quinones' glove, hitting it up the middle, deflected it, and a good play by Brock Laird to throw the first baseman out back in the 2nd inning. This is a little looper. Laird going back, and off the tip of his glove, he can't come up with it. It's going to be a base hit. First one of the ball game for Swift Current. We'll bring up Cohen Jorgensen, the second baseman. Jorgensen grounded out to Giles Salinas his first time up. A solid swack of the ball. One hopper Salinas made a good play on. Strike on the inside corner to Cohen Jorgensen. Came into the game with hits in 3 of his last 4 games. 4 out of 8 in that time, 500. Low and away, ball 1, 1-1. So I guess if he's grounded out, he's 4 for 9 now in this stretch, 444 instead. I like when the numbers are small for division. I think I can actually do those with math. Otherwise, I have to start referring to the calculator on the laptop. Jorgensen fouls it back to the screen, 1-2. Shortstop Zach Clow on deck. Right-handed hitting Jorgensen. Called strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Diego Quinones as he rings up Cohen Jorgensen, the product of Beaumont, Alberta. I don't hear the cheering section today. Maybe they're not sitting in the same spots as they were yesterday. Shortstop Zach Clow coming up. Grounded out to third his first time up. And that touched him on the arm, according to the home plate umpire, and Diego Quinones frustrated with himself for that pitch being in tight to the batter. So it'll put runners on first and second with 2 away. And it'll bring up the top of the order Lucas Geisler, the left fielder, who's 0 for 2. Came into the game with hits in 6 of his last 7 games, a home run and 7 RBI in that time. 9 for 28 in that space of time. First pitch, ball 1. That's a .321 average in the last 7 games plus. One nothing Berries here in the top of the 5th inning. On a steamy Sunday afternoon. Popped up and out of play. 1-1 the count. Geisler from Balcarres, Saskatchewan, coming off his sophomore year at Edmonton College, the Riverhawks. Quinones checks the runners. Hit on the ground and foul, just wide of first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So this is the 4th and final game of this weekend series for these 2 teams. Swift Current heads from here to Medicine Hat and plays the Mavericks tomorrow night. It's a 5-hour trip on the bus to get there. 1-2 pitch to Geisler, down low, outside, 2-2. Berries have tomorrow off, and then we'll take on the only other West Division team that visits Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field this season on Tuesday and Wednesday, the Lethbridge Bulls, who did not help the Berries out the last couple of nights, losing both times to Moose Jaw. Maverick, or the Miller Express and Berries, that is inside 3-2. For a second, Geisler might have thought that clipped him. Not so, says home plate umpire Riley Chanar. But 2 out, 2 on, a 3-2 count. Runners should be moving with the pitch. Something going to happen here. Now Quinones will bluff a pickoff at second and get the runner Adair to stay close to the bag. He's got Brock Laird directly in behind him with the left-handed hitter up. Quinones kicks and fires, and that'll be fouled off into the screen. Count holds full at 3-2. One more time. The 3-2 pitch upcoming. Runners go. And upstairs, ball 4. So now the bases are loaded. And it'll bring up Hunter Fujimoto, the center fielder. And here comes Dustin Mulliken, the Barry's pitching consultant, to chat things over here in the top of the 5th with Diego Quinones, who's working hard this inning, trying to get out of it. He's up to 70 pitches unofficially on this hot afternoon. Heat alerts are still out. 28 degrees Celsius, 84 Fahrenheit, 56% humidity means the humidex value is 34, it feels like. That's like 93 Fahrenheit. Bit of a southwest wind, 18 kilometers per hour, 11-12 miles per hour to cut into that mugginess, but not much. Fujimoto fouls the first pitch back onto the screen, strike 1. 57s are threatening as down the right field line, Dallin Rood starts the throw for the Berries. This is now the 3rd time around the order. Blind right back to Quinones. Good play to make the catch and get out of the inning. Crowd roars their approval as Quinones stabs the line drive right back at him for the 3rd out. No runs on 1 hit. There were no Berries errors and 3 runners left on base. After 4.5 innings, halfway through on Sunday afternoon, it's Saskatoon 1, Swift Current no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Right-hander Keegan Noller back out on the hill for the Swift Current 57s. Has done a tremendous job so far today. Given up the one run, but only on one hit. That was the leadoff single in the bottom of the first inning to Brock Laird. He walked Nash Nichols in the third inning, and that is the run that came in to score, and the only one of the game so far. Bottom third of the Berries order here in the bottom of the fifth. Nick Stinson's line drive down the left field line is just foul. That slice just foul. Good idea. Go the opposite way. Stinson was all the way around to practically to second base when he put on the brakes. I think he had to throw open the parachute in order to slow him down. Knowing him, he might have had ideas of getting all the way to third. That might have been a little ambitious on his part, but to be young and somewhat foolish sometimes. Compared to myself, who's just old and foolish. One strike pitch upcoming to Nick Stinson. On the ground, batted down by Rydell Adair, deflected to the second baseman. The throw to first is in time. Noller, the pitcher, comes over, covers the bag. There's an odd one for you. 3-4-1 on the putout in the old scorebook, if you are keeping score. I am. Others, you don't necessarily have to. It's not a requirement when watching Berries baseball on FloCollege, but it's fun to do so. Aiden Marion, who hopped it back to Noller to finish off the second inning, up to the plate for a second time. Pitch up high, ball one. I thought Stinson might have had himself a base hit off the glove of Adair, who dove to his right on that hard hit ball. Got a glove on it and deflected it right to Cohen Jorgensen, who threw to Noller. Now hit up the middle, and that'll get through. Aiden Marion with a base hit. Second hit of the afternoon for the Saskatoon Berries. And it's the Saskatoon product and catcher, Aiden Marion, who comes through with it. So now the run scorer for the Berries, Nash Nichols, walked, stole second, and came in from second base on a long fly ball to center field by Brock Laird back in the third inning. First pitch low and away, ball one. There's a catcher down in the left field line in the Swift Current bullpen. We'll see who is going to find his glove and get a ball and start warming up. Strike high in the zone to Nichols, 1-1 to the Berries center fielder. Marion at first. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Nichols. 1-2. Aiden Marion has 5 stolen bases. Been caught once. Outside, 2-2. Catch a number down the left field line. Looks like 25. Starting to warm up. Yeah, it's Brody Nanini. Marion taking off. Noller throws to first instead, and Rydell Adair has no play at second base. Marion broke for second base and was halfway there when Noller whirled and fired to first. If he steps off the rubber and turns around, he's got Marion dead to rights. But instead, the throw to first, and by the time Rydell Adair, the first baseman, got the ball, Marion was practically at second base, so he had to eat it. Stolen base without a pitch thrown, and now Nichols fouls that off. Count holds at 2-2. Brock Laird is on deck. One nothing Berries. Runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the fifth. Keegan Noller, 2-2 count. Nichols holds up. They'll appeal. Not called a strike by the crew chief and first base umpire Scott Mostaway. Full count on the Berries center fielder. If you're Keegan Noller, you make the pitch you want to make here, and if you don't get it, a walk is not such a bad thing because now you have a force at every base with one away. And that's exactly what he's done. He's walked Nash Nichols. Second time that's happened. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks for Keegan Noller so far this afternoon. And now Brock Laird, who's 1 for 1 officially, singled to lead off the bottom of the first inning and hit the sacrifice fly that is responsible for the only run that has been scored in the game to this point. Now, catcher Mace Wheeler heads out to chat with Keegan Noller quickly. That was a quick chat. Brody Nanini is winding up, warming up with a little more urgency right now. And Noller's pitch count at around 70. Here's Brock Laird. First pitch strike. Unofficially, he's at 66 pitches, is Keegan Noller. Fouled ball on a changeup. Laird was way out in front and able to get a piece of it with the end of the bat. 2 strikes with Ethan Murdoch on deck, the Berries right fielder. Marion at second, Nichols at first. 2-strike pitch upcoming from Keegan Noller with 1 away in the bottom of the fifth. High, 1-2. For a second, I thought that might have been called strike 3. That looked pretty good. But again, we are not right directly behind home plate, where we're calling the game from. Got a great view down the right field line. I can tell you foul and fair all day long. 1-2. Laird golfs this one into left field, but right at the left fielder. And making the catch out there is Lucas Geisler for the second out. Nobody advances on the play, and it'll bring up Ethan Murdoch. 5th in the league in batting average coming into today. That .411 goes down a point or two. A league leading 58 hits in 142 at-bats. And we've got a mound visit coming up here for the first time this inning. And this is Jared Franklin, the head coach. And we may get a pinch hitter. Murdoch hitting .408 right to the moment, with a team leading 8 home runs. And here comes Riley Chainard, the home plate umpire, to break it up. And again, just as he reaches the mound, it's over and done with. Murdoch hit by a pitch in the first inning, flew out to center in the third. He has a team leading 38 runs batted in, which is 4th in the WCBL. Swift current product, Murdoch. played for the 57s in 2023. First pitch down low, ball one. Outside, ball two. Just outside. Murdoch exhibiting a good eye at the plate. He's walked 21 times this summer. That's now in the top 10. Popped up and out of play, foul over top of the third base bleachers and into the parking lot. 2-1 the count on the Berries' number 2 hitter in the order. Center fielder Fujimoto plays just to the left field side of straightaway center. Everybody plays pretty much straight up with the exception of the second baseman who's creeping in on second base. There's strike 2 taken by Murdoch. Gavin Panks, the DH, on deck. Poked foul. Past the 57's third base dugout and towards the bullpen. Count holds 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuces Wild in the top row of the Next Gen Patch scoreboard in right center field. Here's the pitch. Up high. Full count. And once again, we've got an Action Jackson situation here. Runners will be going with the pitch. 2 away, 3-2. This one's well hit. Deep left field. And you can kiss that baby goodbye. 3-run home run. Ethan Murdoch makes it 4-0. That one, a line drive over the left field fence, probably close to 400 feet. 9th home run of the season for Murdoch, and 3 runs batted in gets him to 41 on the year. And that's one batter too many, likely, for Keegan Noller, as out comes Jarrett Franklin, the head coach of the 57s, to get Keegan Noller, who did a very effective job for 4 2/3 innings. He makes the one mistake just now to Ethan Murdoch and pays for it as he falls behind 4-0 along with his team. So we'll get a new pitcher into the ball game. It'll be Brody Nanini, who pitched in the Friday night game in Swift Current. We'll tell you more about that in a moment, but let's give you the background on Nanini. 6'3", 210-pound right-hander out of Harvey, Montana, coming off his junior season at Montana State University Billings campus. Let's see here. Brody Nanini with a loss and a save to his credit this year, a 12.89 earned run average. This will be his 10th appearance of the season. And his his 4th against the Berries. He threw 2/3 of an inning back on the 14th of June here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Last Sunday, threw 3 2/3 innings at home against the Berries. Gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, struck out 3, walked 3, and then on Friday did not register an out, gave up a hit, 3 walks, and 2 earned runs. So Nannini, for his 10th appearance, pitched 14 2/3 innings, 28 hits allowed, 24 runs, 21 of them earned, 9 strikeouts, and 11 walks. He's got bases empty. His team trailing 4-0, and he'll face Gavin Panks. First pitch strike. Panks 0 for 2. That home run for Murdoch extends his hitting streak to 10 games. There's strike 2. Looked like a changeup. Kyle Salinas is on deck. Outside 1-2. Panks from Covington, Louisiana. An all-star in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Check swing. It gets away from the catcher to the backstop. Panks heading for first. Here's the throw, and it'll hit him in the leg. Panks, that is, and he'll be safe. So the inning continues, even though Nannini gets a strikeout. And I imagine that'll be a passed ball as much as it was a wild pitch. We'll have to wait to see what our official scorers say, but here comes Giles Salinas up. He's 0 for 2. Has an 18-game hitting streak on the line. He's going to get at least one more at-bat after this one. Nannini's first pitch outside, ball 1. Two away in the bottom of the 5th. And now 4-0 Saskatoon with the lead thanks to the 3-run home run from Ethan Murdoch. On the ground, fielded at third. Hiramoto has a long throw across the diamond, and he's called out. First base umpire Mostaway wanted to check to see if Rydell Adair's foot had stayed on the bag when he fielded the ball. The long throw that bounced, he was able to pick it and keep his foot on the bag for the out. Salinas is out, but the Berries score 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors by Swift Current and 1 runner left on base. After 5, Saskatoon 4. And Swift Current no score as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Jake Hiramoto will lead it off for Swift Current in the top of the 6th inning. Hiramoto reached on an error to third baseman Mason Rell his last time up. He's 0 for 1, hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Takes a slider for a strike from Diego Quinones. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was down low. Change up that Hiramoto chased after. Falls behind 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch, slider down and away, ball 1-2. That unofficially was Diego Quiñones' 75th pitch of the afternoon. No action in the bullpen. Inside to Hiramoto, 2-2. Hiramoto has hits in 7 of 8 games, his last 8 games. This one's going to drop in behind first baseman Josh Henson, a base hit. Henson will finally recover it. But a bloop down the right field line for a hit for Hiramoto. So make it hits in 8 of 9 games now. And 5 for 12 on the weekend against the Berries. Second hit of the game for Swift Current. Brings up the right fielder Hudson Unger, who has struck out twice against Quiñones. Fouls the first pitch off towards the Berries' right field bullpen, strike 1. Good block by Aiden Marion on that pitch that bounced in the dirt. Just out of the right-hand batter's box, 1-1. Dirt, sand around the home plate area, gets kicked around and dug up by cleats. Ball bounces, can be tough to read the bounce. Swing and a miss there by Hudson Unger, 1-2. 1,000 years ago, when I caught one game in junior baseball, I made the mistake of wearing my glasses. Of course, I had to. I didn't have contacts back then. 1-2 pitch on the ground. Gets past Henson into right field, base hit. Hiramoto turns second. He'll head for third and get there easily. So Swift Current bounces back here in the top of the 6th inning with back-to-back base hits. And now runners on first and third with nobody out. And Aiden Marion, the Berries catcher, will head out to chat with Quiñones, while Mace Wheeler, the Swift Current backstop, comes out. Dallin Rood is back up throw again for the Berries. Quiñones' biggest pitch count is 90 in his second start back on the 9th of June here at home against Medicine Hat. He went 5 2/3 innings. First pitch strike to Mace Wheeler. That's the longest outing that Quiñones has had, 5 2/3 innings by innings pitched this season. He has a 4-0 lead. Hit in the air, right field. Ethan Murdoch coming over will make the catch. Hiramoto is going to tag up and come home for the first Swift Current run. So a sacrifice fly for Mace Wheeler, first out of the inning, and Swift Current is on the board. Malachi Jaramillo is coming up. 0 for 2 today. For Mace Wheeler, that was RBI number 7. Swing and a miss strike by Jaramillo. First baseman Rydell Adair is on deck. Jaramillo 2 for 12 in the season series, taking off for second, and well, he's going to have to come back. Sliding into second is Hudson Unger. He had the base stolen, but Jaramillo swung and fouled the pitch off. Behind 0-2, and Unger has to return to first base. Check on it first. Back safely. Quinones with a good move there. Forced Unger to dive back to the bag. Comes set does Quinones. A long hold of the ball. Swing and a miss, strike three. Jaramillo is a strikeout victim. That's the fifth one for Diego Quinones today. And 2 out now in the top of the 6th inning. It'll bring up Rydell Adair, the first baseman, who extended his hitting streak to a modest 5 games with a single back in the 5th inning. 7 for 16 in that time with 4 RBI. Swift Current product, hometown kid. He's got himself another hit, a line shot single into center. Nash Nichols with the ball will get it back into the infield. Two hits for Adair. All 4 Swift Current hits have come in the last 2 innings against Diego Quinones. As Cohen Jorgensen comes up for the 3rd time. He grounded to second back in the 3rd inning, struck out last inning. Beaumont, Alberta product. Coming off his junior season at Arkansas State Community College. Quinones glancing back at Unger. Jorgensen with a fly ball into right field. Murdoch is there. He'll make the catch, and that's the inning. Swift Current gets on the board, a run on 3 hits. No Barry's errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 5.5 actually, it is Saskatoon 4, Swift Current 1. You're watching Barry's Baseball on FloCollege.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Brody Nini is the second pitcher of the ball game for Swift Current, back out. He was able to get a 3rd out in the bottom of the 5th inning, replacing Keegan Noller. The starter, who pitched an effective 4 2/3, giving up 3 hits, 4 runs all earned, struck out 2, walked 2, hit a batter. He faced 20 hitters and unofficially threw 76 pitches. Nanini will face 5, 6, 7 hitters in the Barry's order here in the bottom of the 6th. Mason Rell, the number 5 hitter, takes a called strike. Rel 0 for 2. Slow breaking curveball. It's fouled off. 2 strikes. First baseman Josh Henson, left fielder Nick Stinson scheduled to hit for the Berries here in the bottom of the 6th. Line drive into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Solid single for Mason Rell to lead off the bottom of the 6th. That is good news for Joe Carnahan and his coaching staff and the Berries in general if Mason Rell can find his form. Brings up Josh Henson, who has struck out twice today. Facing Nanini for the first time. Foul of the first pitch back to the screen, strike 1. Henson with hits in 8 of his last 9 games. 0 for 2 today, so he's 15 for 41 in that now 10-game time period, during which he's hit .366, and it's boosted the batting average up over 300. That slow breaking ball is in for strike 2. Henson thought about pulling the trigger and held off. Maybe wishes he had swung the bat. 2-strike pitch. No, he's going to check over at first base on Rell, who stole some bases last year with the Berries. Henson up to .303 with the batting average, thanks to that run here in the last 10 games. Chopped foul at the plate. Count holds 0-2 against Brody Nanini. Got another arm warming up down the left field line for Swift Current. Ian Rasmussen. Now down the left field line, it's Brody Wrench warming up for the Berries. Left-hander. High to Henson. 1-2. Dallin Rood had been warming up 2 innings previously. Wrench warming up with some urgency, it seems. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the 7th inning, as Quinones has pitched 6 strong. Henson cues one off the end of the bat into right field. Rell slid into second thinking he had to, but now he's able to get up and advance to third as that ball barely got through the infield. The second baseman, Jorgensen, went to cover the bag when Rell took off for second, and the ball went where he should have been or would have been normally. So back-to-back singles, Rell to third, Henson on. Runners on first and third with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here's Nick Stinson, who's 0 for 2 today. Stinson 8 for his last 23, hits in 5 of his last 6 games. That 8 for 23 is .348. Takes a strike from Nanini. Catcher Aiden Marion on deck. Foul back to the screen. Now Stinson behind 0-2. Middle infielders are playing back at double play depth. Jake Hiramoto, the third baseman, is just behind level with the base paths, second to third. Not playing in on the grass. Stinson fouls another pitch off. Holds it 0-2. Back into the left-hand batter's box for Nick Stinson. Brody Nanini's 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Nanini in his appearance. First out of the inning. Aiden Marion to the plate. Marion singled, stole a base, and scored on the 3-run home run by Ethan Murdoch last inning. 1 for 2 for Aiden Marion. Graduate of St. Joseph High School here in Saskatoon. A check on the runner at first. Henson back safely. Marion hitting .230. Breaking ball in for a strike. Nanini is another pitcher here on the Swift Current 57s who changes speeds. You can throw the fastball with decent velocity, but then you throw that breaking pitch or change up that's such a different one. As this one's rolled through the left side of the infield into left field, a base hit. And in to score is Mason Rell to make it 5-1. 2 hits for Aiden Marion this afternoon, an RBI for him now. That's 12 of them on the season for Aiden Marion. Henson stopped at second base. Nash Nichols to the plate. He has walked twice and scored twice now. Pitch down and away. A block by the catcher. Mace Wheeler, 1-0 the count. Nash Nichols also has a stolen base in there. And that first run he scored is a thing of base running beauty, scoring all the way from second on a long sacrifice fly. Outside 2-0. $15.62. 1,562 we're told the attendance is this afternoon. Popped up in the infield. Shortstop Zach Clow is calling for it and will make the catch. That's the second out. And now it's Brock Laird facing Brody Nanini for the first time in Laird's 4th plate appearance of the afternoon. 1 for 2. A single and a sacrifice fly. The single extended his hitting streak to 10 games back in the first inning. On that 10-game hitting streak, he's hitting .378, 17 for 45 with 8 runs batted in. Fun fact, Brock is studying kinesiology, it says. Little looper, that's going to drop into the center field around third, and heading for home is Josh Henson. He will score as the throw gets all the way to the plate off the pitcher's mound. Aiden Marion stopped at second. An RBI single for Brock Laird, drives in Aiden Marion. Drives in Josh Henson, I should say. Marion stopping at second makes it 6-1. As the Berries have 4 hits this inning and a couple of runs. 2 out. First pitch swinging Murdoch pops it up. Right side of the infield, first baseman Rydell Adair calls for it and makes the catch to end the inning. But a couple of more runs for the Berries in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no Swift Current errors and 2 runners left on base. After 6, it is Saskatoon 6. Swift Current 1 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. to Zach Clow, the number 9 hitter, is ball 1. Line drive into left center field. That'll get down as Nash Nichols couldn't get there in time. So a leadoff single for Clow is 1 for 2 in the game. 5th hit of the afternoon for the Swift Current 57s. Top of the order now, Lucas Geisler, the left fielder. 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked his last time up. Shows bunt and bunts it foul back onto the screen, strike 1. For Brody Wrench, this is his 11th appearance of the season. Has a loss and a save and a 9.00 earned run average. Geisler shows bunt again to third base. Rell with it. He'll throw to second for 1, and Laird stumbles, and they're going to call him out at first. Third baseman Bobby Mark saying that interference is involved, and now a discussion with the head coach, Jared Franklin. Rell opted to throw to second for the force on the lead runner, Zach Clow, and Bobby Mark then pointed at first base and called him out as well. In the discussion, Geisler hasn't moved off first. This continues. Head coach Franklin still following Mark as he makes his way back to his position at third. Scott Mostaway, the first base umpire, says, hey, you're out. He called you out on the interference. So it's a double play and it's 2 outs. Brings up Hunter Fujimoto. He'll bunt, but right back to Wrench. And that's all of a sudden a quick 3 up, 3 down top of the 7th inning for Brody Wrench. No runs, 1 hit, no Barry's errors, and nobody left on base after 6.5 as we head to the 7th inning stretch here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 6-1 Saskatoon with the lead. You're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Quick look at the unofficial line scores. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning for Saskatoon Berries. 6 runs on 7 hits. They've committed 1 error and left 5 runners on base. For the Swift Current 57s, 1 run on 5 hits. They've committed no errors and have left 7 runners on base. 6-1 Berries with the lead. Gavin Panks to the plate to lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th against Brody Nanini, the second pitcher for Swift Current today, still out there. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits last inning. Pank's first pitch swinging, fly ball right field. Jackson Unger going back. That's over his head, and one hops the fence. Pank's into second base with a stand-up double. First pitch swinging to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning as he extends his hitting streak to 5 games. We'll bring up Giles Salinas, who's also in a situation where he needs a base hit in order to extend a hitting streak. His is at 18 games, trying to extend it to 19. 0 for 3 was called out on a close play to end the 5th inning. Clay Mixon warming up down the right field line in the Barries bullpen. Nanini's first pitch to Salinas is down low, ball 1. Called strike on Salinas, 1-1. Thank you. We just got cupcake treats. Excuse me. That's not because of the cupcake. Now Salinas gets hit by an inside pitch. That'll put runners on first and second. That might have just ended Giles' chances of extending the hitting streak. See if we get how many times he's been hit. That's the 17th time he's been hit by a pitch this season. He's the WCBL version of Ron Hunt back in the day with the Montreal Expos. He got hit 50 times one year. 50, 5-0, not 15, 5-0 times. Here's a line drive left field. That's over the head of the left fielder, Geisler, and that'll two-hop the fence. Around third and coming in to score is Gavin Pank. Salinas around to third, and a double for Mason Rell. Like I say, that's good news from a Barry's perspective. If Mason Rell starts coming around with his bat, 2 for 4 now this afternoon. A run batted in and a run scored, and Josh Henson coming to the plate. Nobody out for the Barries as they now make it 7-1. Down the left field line, pitcher indicating I'm ready to go if need be. Different guy warming up this time than was before. Pitch in for a strike to Josh Henson, who singled and scored last inning. Chase Cummins is warming up. Henson up the middle. That gets through a base hit as well. In to score Salinas. Around third and coming home is Mason Rell, and it's now 9-1. Double digits in hits for the Barries now this afternoon. 2 RBI for Henson. Three runs on 3 hits this inning. Nick Stinson coming to the plate. Still no movement from the dugout on the Swift Current side. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Stinson's 0 for 3. Nanini's first pitch up high, ball 1. Barry's here in the middle innings, pouring it on offensively. Stinson with a little liner. It is going to be called an out and a fly, and now it's an out at first base as well. It's a double play. They say he caught the ball in the air, did Zach Clow, on the backhand, and doubles off the runner at first, Josh Henson. And now Joe Carnahan out of the Barries first base dugout says, hey, that touched ground. I would tend to agree with Joe Carnahan and the Barries interpretation. Umpire Bobby Mark, who made the initial out call, now wants to talk to the umpires, the other ones. And let's see what they come up with. Looked like Clow had it in his glove but couldn't hold it. It kind of bounced down, hit the ground, and popped back up, which would mean that he'd have to, the throw, he might get the guy at first base, but the runner going to second would be fine. This will be interesting to see what these three umpires come up with on this. Aiden Marion is guaranteed to hit, but whether he's with... And they call the original call is upheld. Line drive out for Nick Stinson for the first out. And then catching Josh Henson off the bag at first for the second out. A double play. And suddenly 2 away for the Saskatoon Barries in the bottom of the 7th inning. Aiden Marion to the plate, 2 for 3, a couple of singles, a couple of runs scored his last 2 times up. Nanini's first pitch, up high for a ball. Now no action in the Swift Current bullpen while Clay Mixon continues to throw down the right field line and for the Barries. Bounced into Marion, 2-0. Everybody else up here has been able to eat their cupcake, and I haven't been able to yet. No fair to Flair. 3 runs in for the Barries here in the bottom of the 7th. Marion pops it up. Sky high. Could be a play here. Coming over Adair and the catcher, and they both collide. Adair slid, and the catcher fell over top of him. I hope he didn't spike him on the way by. Adair gets up, limping a bit, but seems to be okay, and gets a nice ovation from the crowd here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, 1,562. The ball was not caught, so it's a foul ball, strike 1, 2-1, the count on Aiden Marion. Catcher Wheeler going after it along with first baseman Adair. There was room before the backstop, before the screen, just short of the Barries' first base dugout. Called strike at the knees on Aiden Marion, 2-2. And again, Deuces Wild across the top line of the scoreboard here in right field at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. 3 runs in for the Barries. They lead 9-1 over Swift Current. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the end of the inning. 3rd strikeout for the appearance for Brody Nanini. But he gives up 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no Swift Current errors and 1 runner and no runners left on base, I should say, as after 7, Saskatoon 9, Swift Current 1. You're watching Barries baseball on FloCollege.
Get ready for the sweetest baseball event in Canada. All the Barrie Best players from around the WCBL will be in the Barrie Best City for the 2026 All-Star Weekend. Don't be sour. Get your tickets to the summer's biggest baseball event now. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go.
Clay Mixon into the ball game now for the Berries. Third pitcher of the afternoon for head coach Joe Carnahan, pitching coach Ryan Olcheway, and pitching consultant Dustin Mulliken, who's with the team this weekend. Saw Dustin's dad, Doug, a couple of times today. Old scouter from his hockey scouting days. And Dustin's daughter, Doug's granddaughter, with him. Clay Mixon will make his 9th appearance of the season. He'll face the meat of the Swift Current order. First, our third baseman, Jake Hiramoto, right fielder Hudson Unger, and catcher Mace Wheeler here in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch from Mixon, up high and inside, ball 1. Clay Mixon, 6'2", 220, right-hander out of Baytown, Texas. Up high, ball 2, 2-0. Mixon coming off his sophomore year at Brookhaven College. Breaking ball down and away, ball 3. 3-0. Brookhaven College located in Dallas. 3-0 pitch. Fastball taken all the way by Hiramoto, strike 1. Jake Hiramoto is 1 for 2 today with a hit by pitch. Mixon will play his junior year of college next winter at Houston Christian University in Texas. 3-1 count now to Jake Hiramoto. Fly ball right field. Murdoch drifts back a few steps, will make the catch, and there's one away. Brings up Hudson Unger, who singled his last time up. 1 for 3. 2 for 9 in the weekend series against the Berries, with a home run and an RBI. That back on Friday night in Swift Current. Unger hit the homer in the 17-5 Berries win. Outside to Unger. Ball 1. This one in the air, center field. Nash Nichols started back a step and now comes in a few and makes the catch. 2 away. Mace Wheeler, the catcher now, 0 for 2. Sacrifice fly in the 6th inning, bringing in Hiramoto with the only Swift Current run so far today. I've said yesterday a few times, I'll say it again today, you have to be mindful of the Swift Current hitting order. The pitching lets them down as a first pitch swing. Fly ball, center field. Nichols back a few steps, will make the catch. 3 fly ball outs for Clay Mixon here. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. 9-1 Saskatoon with the lead over Swift Current after 7.5 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Third pitcher of the afternoon for the Swift Current 57's now in for the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Logan Hammer. Logan Hammer from Calgary, coming off his sophomore year at Minnesota State Community and Technical College. 6'1", 180-pound right-hander. Pretty sure he pitched yesterday at some point. I am right. He pitched last night. A third of an inning. Gave up a hit and an unearned run through just 7 pitches. For Logan Hammer, this will be his 9th appearance of the season. First pitch high to Nash Nichols, ball 1. Nichols' 4th plate appearance of the day. 2 walks, 2 runs scored, a stolen base, 0 for 1 officially, and a called strike. 1-1 to the Barries center fielder. Hammer has pitched 13 innings this year, no record, a 17.31 earned run average. Breaking ball in for a strike, 1-2. Hammer in 13 innings has allowed 22 hits, 27 runs, 25 of them earned, struck out 7, walked 13. There's one that gets away from him, over the head of Nichols to the backstop, and evens the count at 2-2. After Nichols, it's back to the top of the order for the Barries. 5th plate appearances for Brock Laird and Ethan Murdoch. Nichols on the ground, picked it short by Clow. Long throw in time to get the first out. 1 away. Laird 2 for 4 today. Has 2 RBI. Actually 2 for 3, sorry. He has a sacrifice fly which drove in a run, the first run of the game back in the 3rd inning. Singled and drove in Josh Henson with a run in the 6th inning. Hammer's first pitch, Laird fouls it wide of third base towards the Swift Current bullpen area. Strike 1. Ethan Murdoch on deck. Of course, he had the big bop of the game back in the 5th inning, extending the Barries' lead from 1-0 to 4-0 with a 3-run home run. Up high to Laird. 1-1. One pitch inside, 2-1. Laird pops it up. Shallow right center field. Coming in and making the catch is the right fielder Hudson Unger for the 2nd out. And now Ethan Murdoch. 1 for 3, but that 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Extending his hitting streak to 10 games. Hitting .400 in that time with 5 home runs and 13 RBI. Inside, ball 1. Murdoch was hit by a pitch by Keegan Noller back in the 1st inning. That one's up high, 2-0. Hit in the air. Left center field, going back. It's up and away. 2nd round tripper of the afternoon for Ethan Murdoch. His 10th of the year makes it 10-1. Murdoch in double digits for this year. 2 on the day. That one a little bit more majestic looking, higher in the air. The big arc and landing over the left center field fence. The first one was more line drive-ish. harder hit. The exit velocity might have been greater on the first one than on the second one, as Gavin Panks now up. Looks at a called strike. Outside to Panks, 1-1. Guile Salinas is on deck. Let's see if Panks can give him a chance to get up to the plate. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Panks 1 for 3. Actually 1 for 4, sorry. He struck out but reached base back in the 5th inning against Brody Nanini, his first to batter that Nanini faced. Panks with a ball that will get through into center field, a base hit. So Salinas will get an at-bat. One more plate appearance and a chance to extend the hitting streak. He was hit by a pitch last time up. Hit by a pitch for the 17th time, which is incredible in summer baseball. 0 for 3 with a run scored. He scored last inning. Hitting .500 for the weekend with 5 runs batted in. Salinas against Logan Hammer. On the ground, shortstop Clow up with it. The short toss to second. That'll end the inning, and that'll end the hitting streak for Guile Salinas at 18 games. For the Berries, a run on 2 hits. There were no Swift Current errors and 1 runner left on base. After 8, Saskatoon 10 and Swift Current 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Carter Kopp will come into the ball game and pitch the 9th inning for the Saskatoon Berries, up 10-1. He'll face Malachi Jaramillo to start the inning. Carter Kopp will make his 7th appearance of the season, all in relief. Pitched 7 1/3 innings, a 6.14 earned run average with no record of any kind. Swing and a foul ball out of play by Jaramillo. Strike 1. He is 0 for 3 today. Kopp's allowed 17 hits, 9 runs, 5 of them earned, struck out 7 and walked 4 in 7 1/3 innings. Right-hander from Saskatoon, a swing and a miss, strike 2. Two-strike pitch upcoming from Kopp to Jaramillo. Outside, 1-2. Popped up in the air. Kopp on the pitcher's mound, calling for it himself, and will make the catch. One away. Rydell Adair, the first baseman, coming up now for the Swift Current 57s. Adair is 2 for 3 today. Swift Current product. Couple of singles. Fouls the first pitch off, strike one. Ball game at 2.5 hours. Certainly not as hot temperature-wise as we were being told it was going to be, at least not yet. Popped up again, sky high. Coming on, left fielder Nick Stinson will make the catch as he calls off shortstop Brock Laird in short, shallow left field. And that's now 2 away here quickly for Swift Current in the top of the ninth. 28 degrees Celsius, 84 Fahrenheit, 62% humidity, and with the Humidex it feels like 36. South-southwest breeze cuts into that a little bit at 15 kilometers per hour. Cohen Jorgensen, second baseman, up, is waiting to get Stinson back into position. Aiden Marion called time. Now everybody's ready to go. Jorgensen 0 for 3 today. Fouls the first pitch back, strike one. Fans trying to bring this one home for the Berries. They've got a 10-1 lead. Looking for a 4th straight win over the Swift Current 57s. Up and in, catches Jorgensen on the shoulder. And home plate umpire Roddy Chainard says, yeah, he did hit him. So you take your base. That's 3 hit batsmen by Berries pitchers today. And it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, shortstop Zach Clow, who's 1 for 2. Singled his first time up, or his last time up, I should say, and was involved in a bizarre play that got 2 outs in the 7th inning. Kopp's first pitch to Clow is a strike. Lucas Geisler went to bunt. One hopped it to Mason Rell, who threw and forced Clow at second, and Clow plowed into shortstop Brock Laird and was called out at first base for the interference. Big swing and a miss by Clow. Now behind 2 strikes to Carter Kopp. Fans stomping and clapping, wanting this one to be over. Down low with a changeup, 1-2. I'm going to ask Carter Kopp. That almost looked like a knuckleball. If he throws that. Had a chance to visit with his grandparents earlier this week from Turtle Lake. Up high and inside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fouled off. At bat stays alive for Zach Clow. Top of the order, Lucas Geisler is on deck for Swift Current. 2-2 pitch. Foul tip. Couldn't be held by Aiden Marion. And the count holds again at 2-2. Runner at first, 2 away. 2-2 with 2 away. Nope, outside. Fans wanted the called strike 3. So did Carter Kopp. Shakes his head. Count is full now to Zach Clow, the Swift Current shortstop. Runner going, and that's up high, ball 4 and a walk. So Jorgensen advances to second. Still 2 away. It'll bring up Lucas Geisler, the left fielder. Geisler is 0 for 3 with a walk today. Popped up, Foul territory. Mason railed over, can't come up with it. Slid on his knees trying to catch up there, but couldn't do it. Strike one. It was fisted by Geisler, an inside pitch. 2 on, 2 out here in the top of the ninth. Berries with a 9-run lead. Looking for victory 25 of the season. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. Well, once again, Carter Kopp's gotten to 2 strikes. Looking for the third out. Takes the sign from catcher Aiden Marion. 2-strike pitch. It's popped up again. Shallow left field. Brock Laird is settled under it. He'll make the catch, and that's the ball game. For Swift Current, in the top of the ninth inning, no runs, no hits, no Berries errors, 2 runners left on base. Saskatoon Berries complete 4-game sweep of the Swift Current 57s, a Friday night game in Swift Current at Mitchell Field, and in 3 straight here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field over the last 2 days. And today, on mascot Barry's birthday, Berries defeat Swift Current by a final score of 10-1. We'll be back with the final totals next as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, back to wrap things up here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. The Saskatoon Berries win 10-1 today over the Swift Current 57s. Here's your final unofficial line score for the Berries. 10 runs on 12 hits. They committed 1 error, left 6 runners on base. For Swift Current, 1 run on 5 hits. They didn't commit an error and left 9 runners on base. The winning pitcher is Diego Quinones, who went 6 strong innings through 88 pitches, allowed just 1 run on 4 hits. It's his 4th win against 1 loss. The losing pitcher is Swift Current starter Keegan Noller, who gave up the 3-run home run to Ethan Murdoch in the 5th inning, and that kind of gave the Berries the momentum they needed to win the ball game. Noller's record now drops to 1-2. Game took 2 hours and 34 minutes to play in front of 1,562 fans. Berries improved their record to 25-11. And if we take a look possibly here on the out-of-town scoreboard and see what's happening elsewhere. Yeah, there we go. Moose Jaw and Brooks. Well, we'll see what the Miller Express are doing this afternoon. That game started at 2:05. And right now, Moose Jaw with an 8-4 lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. So if that result holds, the teams will stay tied for first place in the East Division. But for the Berries, their 4th straight win, 16-5 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. They've won 6 of 7 head-to-head meetings now with Swift Current this year. And the Berries are a plus 120 in the run differential column. Swift Current drops to 11-22. They have now fallen into last place, 6th and last in the East Division. Losers of 4 straight, 4-13 on the road, and a minus 143 runs for and against differential. 10-1 today. The Berries defeat the Swift Current 57s. Next action for Saskatoon will be coming up on Tuesday. They'll start a 2-game series against the last West Division team that will come through here to play against them. That'll be the Lethbridge Bulls. We'll be here Tuesday and Wednesday night for the games here, the last home games before the All-Star break. But it's the Berries and Lethbridge Tuesday and Wednesday. Game time both nights starting at 7 o'clock. Until then, on behalf of Flow Sports, FloCollege, all the gang with the Saskatoon Entertainment Group, and of course, my producer today is Jackson Imrie. I'm Les Lazaruk. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll talk to you again Tuesday as you have been watching Saskatoon Berries baseball on FloCollege.